The oil war has officially begun with battles raging in Ukraine. President Biden today announcing he is banning the import of all Russian oil and gas. But who will feel more pain, Vladimir Putin or you and your fellow Americans who are now going to walk everywhere? The White House saying the move is in response to Russian superdouchery. That's an official term. We're told that despite stiff Ukrainian resistance, the humanitarian crisis continues to deteriorate. And the Russian bombing campaign has reportedly escalated. This morning, our president said he's attempting to cut off Putin's largest income source, black gold.
Today, I'm announcing the United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. This is a step that we're taking to inflict further pain on Putin, but there will be cost as well here in the United States. I said I would level with the American people from the beginning. And when I first spoke to this, I said defending freedom is going to cost. It's going to cost us as well.
There's a hefty. President says he has strong bipartisan support for the move. That is true. But as you just heard him warn, gas prices likely going higher. That means everything's going to be more expensive. The national average for a gallon of gas just hit a new high, $4.17. And some places in California, told you this last night, already north of $7. Earlier today, our own Peter Doocy asked White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki why we aren't drilling more oil here in these United States to help ease the pain. Jen?
You say that you're going to do everything that you can to reduce the impact that high gas prices have on Americans. We're asking other countries to think about maybe pumping more oil. Why not just do it here?
Well, to be very clear, federal policies are not limiting the supplies of oil and gas. Let me finish. Let me finish.
An executive order his
Peter,
first week that halted new oil and gas.
Let me give you the facts here. We are one of the largest producers with a strong domestic oil and gas industry. We have actually produced more oil. It is at record numbers.
How about taking those record numbers and making even more record numbers? But some oil experts say that's not entirely true. Now the administration reaching out to repressive countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Venezuela. What a trifecta to pick up the slack, Jack. But if we do that, aren't we just replacing one villain with another? Here with me now, TENNE, Tennessee Republican Congressman on the House Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committees, Mark Green is here. Sir, welcome to the show, number one. Number two, you are very invested in what's happening here as you have put forth legislation to call on the president to do what he finally did today. What are your thoughts hearing about the ban?
Hi, Kennedy. Thanks for having me on your show. And I think what's happening in Washington, at the White House is just it's an idiot show. I mean, look, it took Nancy Pelosi pushing the president to actually get the ban on Russia. So it isn't like he wanted to cut off the $55 million a day we were sending to Vladimir Putin so that he could do his attacks on Ukraine. And now they're negotiating with Venezuela to replace that 500,000 barrels a day. That's absolutely crazy. Every dictator in Latin America now, all they have to do is commit humanitarian, violations and human rights violations and capture Americans and hold them as hostages. And we don't even care. We'll just go buy their oil. It's insane.
Well, it's obvious that we're not off oil yet. With gas being $7 a gallon for people in certain parts of the country, we'll get there faster, there's no doubt. But we still have to fuel the economy with actual fuel. You heard Jen Psaki say that we're drilling as much as we ever have. We're extracting oil in record numbers. But if that's true, we could be doing more. So why aren't we doing that?
Well, look, they hate the oil and gas industry, and they've basically conducted a war on them. They're not allowing permits. They're not doing leases on private lands. They actually, if you look at how they're leveraging the financial sector to block capital to these oil and gas companies, they're preventing dollars, like through the SEC regulations, from actually going to these companies to do the kinds of investments that would lead to green energy. Their basic war on our energy sector is destroying our economy. It's preventing us, it's a national security issue now, it's preventing us from helping Europe, during this issue and giving leverage to Russia. I mean,
That's
everything
a really
they're
good
doing
point.
is crazy.
I want to touch on what you just said there because, you know, mathematically that's very important. We only get about 8% of our oil from Russia. Europe is much more dependent on Russia. We could be giving them the liquefied natural gas.
Yeah.
You know, we have, you are from a state that has incredibly rich resources. You work with people in Congress from states that would love to be able to participate in this and be able to sell what they extract to Europe, and we would make the world a safer place if the United States were doing that. I do not understand this ass-backward logic. It is so contrary to safety and freedom. And the fact that the Democrat Party is beholden to these green ghouls, while people are dying senselessly. Final thoughts, sir.
Yeah, they're worried about the oceans rising an inch in a few decades because of global warming, when they really need to be worried about thermonuclear warming. I mean, Russia is threatening to use their nuclear weapons. They're bombing nuclear plants in Ukraine. I mean, we have to take Russia on today. That's the near-term target, the near-term issue. And that means cutting off the transactions that allow them to do oil. I mean, that's it, period.
My father, who was a proud capitalist, always said, and he loved this country, he loved his fellow human beings. He always said, you can do well and you can do good at the same time. Let the United States prove that by unleashing our energy kraken. Congressman, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Please come back.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Thank you.